Now, before I dive into this video for today on the history of Nia Jax figures, I wanted to talk about a giveaway I'm doing with Wrestling Hero Figs on Instagram, and that giveaway is for Elite 89 Nia Jax. And not only this figure, but also Elite Series 90 Reckoning. Now, for a chance to win these two figures, all you have to do is hit subscribe down below to Lumberjillville Wrestling Figures on YouTube, this channel now. Then head over to Instagram. Make sure to follow Wrestling Hero Figs and Lumberjillville. Tag 3 friends on this giveaway post. And then share the photo. So yeah, we're trying to give this opportunity to as many people as we can. And the main reason is that it's Thanksgiving month, and I'm truly grateful and thankful for all the supporters out there. I would have never guessed that a women's wrestling figure YouTube channel like mine would have so much support from the community out there, and I just love y'all, and me and Wrestling Hero Figs want to put a smile on somebody's face during this Thanksgiving month. So that's all you have to do to enter, and you have until 11/21/2021. So hopefully you're watching this video before Sunday, the 21st of November, 2021, and you'll have a chance to enter. So with that being said, let's dive into this video, but good luck on the giveaway.
Well, Mayor Aaron, this is it, the final Nia Jax figure video you have to do. Are you happy the Nia Jax curse will come to an end?
Yeah, Co-Mayor Alexa, this could very well be the very last Nia Jax figure review video. But I've told you before, I don't believe in that stupid Nia Jax curse. Sure, I've gotten hurt in every one of Nia's videos that I've done, but it's purely just coincidence. I ain't scared of nothing.
Then why are you wearing a helmet?
Because I was riding my bike.
With an oven mitt on.
Oh, this is for dinner. I hot cook stuff, hot things, dinner, oven, hot.
Sure, okay, yeah. Hey, are you wearing your priest necklace too?
Oh, okay, Co-Mayor Alexa. Yes, it is. You freaking got me. But hey, how can you blame me? I'm freaking spooked. How is it I get hurt in every one of Nia's videos that I do?
Probably because she hurts everyone she works with.
Shh. See, my job today is not to speak ill of Nia Jax. I know we've never been the biggest fans, but at the end of the day, someone lost their job, and that sucks. Plus, she posted online that she was going through some mental health issues, and I take that very seriously. And I hope she gets that figured out and gets the help that she needs, and I hope she kicks ass at whatever she does next. So I got nothing but love from Mayor Aaron to Nia.
So you're telling me I can't say anything bad about Nia Jax during this whole video?
Yeah.
This whole video.
Yes, the whole video. I see what you did there. Whole. Ugh. That's nasty. Hey y'all, welcome to Lumberjillville. Women's wrestling lives here. And welcome to the figure history of Nia Jax. Now, anyone that watches the channel or listens to the podcast knows that I was never the biggest fan of Nia Jax in the ring. Whether it be her talent, her gimmick, and whatnot, just never a big fan. But she was a big part of the women's division for many years in the WWE. And like I mentioned in the intro, she's gone through some stuff, had some mental issues going on. I wish her nothing but the best, nothing but love from me. But what I absolutely love about Nia Jax is her figures. She's had some amazing, amazing figures released by Mattel. And I am excited to show y'all all of them up close, in detail, talk about what the attire is from, and then rank them as to my least favorite to favorite at the end. So with that being said, let's dive into her first in the line figure. Nia Jax's first in the line figure in Basic Series 72, released in 2017. This attire is from WWE Clash of Champions pay-per-view in 2016, which took place on September 25th in Indianapolis, Indiana. On this night, Nia Jax defeated Alicia Fox on the kickoff show for the event. Now, Nia's first in the line figure was a freaking knockout, and this is a basic, remember. However, at this time, the women's basics had elite articulation, and that's really important to note because the next couple figures we're going to cover that are basic style don't have the articulation that this figure has. So, this figure, we have that upper torso swivel here, that upper arm swivel. We have the upper thigh joint there that spins. So, yeah, we get those extra little joints and extra little details on this basic that we kind of lose in the next couple of releases. But anyway, taking a closer look at the figure, I mean, this scan is great. I think this messy hair is so awesome, so unique, and looks super cool. Now, also, this might be a record holder for the most molding that they put on a women's basic figure because this was stunning. And remember, this is her first figure. So my mind would have absolutely exploded if I picked up this basic, first time ever getting a Nia Jax figure, and I saw all the attention to detail that they put into this, because this is a gorgeous figure, and they do an excellent job, not only with the face and the hair, but the attire. And it's really cool that she has these molded flaps on her shoulder and also on her sides. And this color is a maroonish red, I think. Now remember, I am colorblind, and it was super hard putting this next to the Battle Pack Nia Jax and seeing a difference, but it took me a while, and I think there is a difference in the color. But anyway, this is like a maroonish red type look. But yeah, this Nia, the more I look at it, this is a super figure. It is excellent, and I love that she has that elite articulation on a basic release. Basic Series 79, released in 2017. She wore this attire on multiple occasions, mostly on Raw throughout 2016 when she would squash local competitors. Fun fact is Britt Baker and Big Swole were some of the local talents Jax squashed along the way. But this attire is most notable from NXT, which took place in Osaka, Japan on December 3rd, 2016. It would air in the US on December 28th of that year. On this night, Asuka in her hometown would defeat Nia Jax to retain the NXT Women's Championship. Another fun fact is this show was actually the first ever 2-hour live event episode of NXT. Alright, so moving on to her second figure released. This is an iconic look for Nia Jax in my opinion. You know, I remember seeing her on TV quite often, and like I said in the intro, she was on Monday Night Raw a lot wearing this attire. So I remember seeing her on TV a lot in the purple and black, and that just screams Nia Jax to me. So I really like that her second figure released gave us that purple and black deco. However, what I am going to say about it that I didn't realize until I started looking at these figures up close for this video is the articulation is dumbed down, if you will, and decreased in this figure. So her introductory figure in Basic 72, like I mentioned, it had elite articulation. And here that elite articulation is gone. So that upper arm joint, that upper torso joint, and that mid-thigh swivel joint there is all gone. So we have decreased articulation on this figure. Even though the molding looks the same, we just have decreased articulation. So it is what it is because this attire is gorgeous and stands out. But looking at that face here, the scan is a little different from her introductory figure. And obviously the hair is the main difference that you'll notice, where it's more straight over her shoulder and braided on her right side. So I think this is a good look. You know, the messy hair introductory figure was definitely awesome to have because it was so unique, but this is an iconic look for Nia Jax that I remember often, and this might be the most iconic looking Nia Jax figure, honestly. But yeah, moving on to the attire, so we get that purple, we get the black, and we get little silver accents. And I guess my only complaint, and this goes along with her introductory figure and also the Battle Pack figure, is the paint application. Like this purple should be metallic. You know, the accent color should be a metallic purple, and I think that'd really add to it. But this is a basic, and they put so much effort and detail into the basic. It's not a huge killer, in my opinion, but that would have been nice and really put this basic over the top. Now, another one of my complaints for this figure is something that's very hard to tell through the video, through the camera, but the skin tone is weird. I think it's even more weird in the Battle Pack Nia, and it's going to be really hard to see on camera, but it's a really bizarre choice for a skin tone. I don't know if it's because these are older figures, but I did buy them both new and opened them up. but the skin tone is kind of yellowed, like they might have been out in the sun or something. So I don't know if it's just mine, but I'm pretty sure that's just what it is. It seems like a cheap paint application that really doesn't match her skin tone too well. So I'd say that's probably the biggest disappointment with this figure, that and the lack of joints. Now, that being said, let's move to the next basic style figure with Battlepacks 54. Battlepacks Series 54 with Alexa Bliss, released in 2018. Now, I think this attire was supposed to be based on her match at Backlash 2018, where she defeated Alexa Bliss to retain the Raw Women's Championship, but the attire is not accurate at all. After doing some research, I found this attire used by Nia when she teamed with her Battle Pack counterpart Alexa Bliss versus Asuka and Bayley at a WWE live event house show in Omaha, Nebraska on Sunday, February 4th, 2018. I also saw this attire on the February 24th, 2016 edition of NXT, where the team of Eva Marie and Nia Jax would defeat Bayley and Carmella. And also once again on the March 16th, 2016 edition of NXT, where Asuka and Bayley defeated Eva Marie and Nia Jax. So right off the bat, I do notice with this figure, like I just mentioned in her previous basic release, that the skin tone is way off. And once again, it's probably hard to see in this camera, in this lighting, but it's definitely a really cheap looking paint application that has a yellowish tint to it that does not match up to her skin tone. And we really see that when her elites really nail a lot right. But yeah, this one stands out when you compare it to the others. We'll see that at the end. But yeah, the skin tone kind of bothers me. It like glows. It's almost like glow in the dark paint, it seems like. It's weird. But we get that same face scan, same hair sculpt that we got in that purple attire release in her last basic. And it works nice. It works fine. And even though this attire looks identical to her debut figure, it's actually different. And remember, I don't see red too well, but this is a lot more red. And her first release figure is a lot more of a burgundy type color, in my opinion. And I didn't realize that till I had them next to each other. So really, it's that same exact body mold that they used on that last basic we just covered in the purple, except they added a different paint application. So once again, we don't have that elite style articulation here, and that's very, very disappointing. And I am going to say that the Alexa Bliss that comes in this battle pack, I think, is actually a pretty unique and a pretty cool Alexa Bliss that comes in like a half t-shirt molded on. That's very iconic to what she wears. So this battle pack is actually pretty awesome. But out of the Nia Jax figures, I would definitely pass on this one because the skin tone to me, it just looks really bizarre and really off. Elite Series 65, released in 2019. This attire is from the WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in 2018, which took place on February 25th in Paradise, Nevada. On this night, Nia was defeated by Asuka. It's important to note that this figure comes with 3 different heads, and this head in particular with the braids is most notably known for her backstage segments where she was a love interest for Enzo Amore. So before we take a close look at her very first Elite, I just want to remind y'all that I do have a full-out detailed review of this Elite and also the next 2 Elites I'm covering of Nia Jax on the channel if you want some extra detail in the review. But diving right into her first Elite that she ever had, this figure is amazing. And it's actually a very groundbreaking and historic figure, seeing as this is the very first time that in the WWE Mattel Elite line, we got interchangeable swappable heads. Now, this was a big deal and super awesome because each look is way different from the other. Now, you could always do the boil water method to switch heads, but this is the first time that they tooled a figure and made it easier to swap the heads. Now, you might recognize these 2 hairstyles here. This hairstyle mold was used on her very first in the line figure, but this time around, we get that TrueFX face scan, and wow, does it look phenomenal. And looking at this other head here, she has that straight hair over the shoulder with that braid, and we saw this in her second figure and her third figure, the basics. And once again, we get that TrueFX face scan technology, and it looks amazing. I mean, I thought those basics were good until I compared it, and I mean, they killed it with this TrueFX face scan technology. It's stunning. I mean, it's really eerie how much it looks like her. It's awesome. Now, the head that I put on her is this one because it is so unique and it is so fun and so cool. And like I said, I know it mostly from behind the scene segments on, I believe it was Raw, when her and Enzo were kind of flirting with each other. That's when I remember this most. But this is just such highly detailed and colored. And yeah, this hair sculpt's awesome. And I also love the big smile that they put on her face. And yeah, so the TrueFX face scan technology definitely was a factor in this drastic improvement in her figures. And not only that, but the color patterns and coloration they use on this attire is so unique, with a purple and a green kind of mix matching all throughout and fading together with little silver accents. Now, it is important to note that she does have that elite articulation, obviously, that we saw on her first in the line figure. It's back, obviously this was an elite mainline release, so we have that elite articulation. But yeah, this is a gorgeous figure, and just look at all the detail that they put into this, all the intricate paint, all the tooling, all the molding, and most importantly, this looks like a miniature version of Nia Jax, and I can't say enough good about this figure, honestly. But in my opinion, it gets even better. Elite Series 89 regular version, released in 2021. This attire is from the July 27th, 2020 edition of Raw, where Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler brawled their way to a double countout. They would continue to fight after the match. This was a fairly significant moment because it's when seeds were planted on their tag team formation and future championship run. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the very last two figures that were released by Mattel before her WWE release. Now, this is Elite Series 89, and we're going to first take a look at the regular version. It's important to note that I did a full in-depth detailed review of both this and the Chase version on the channel, so make sure to watch that if you want a real up-close look. We're going to briefly cover these, though. And the main reasoning is this figure is a work of art. Now, at the time of this recording, it's not available in stores yet. It's only available on online retailers where you could pre-order her and get her a little early. But Elite 89 will be hitting the stores soon. And I promise you, if you don't have this figure yet, if you see this figure on the store shelves, it's going to be hard for you to pass on it because it is a gorgeous, a beautiful, a striking figure. Now, like I mentioned, I did a full detailed review of this in the Chase version, and something I found interesting is in the comments, people seem to prefer the regular version over the Chase, and I totally understand why, because on this regular version, we get a really unique color pattern, as well as black, gold, and red that just stands out. It really pops and looks excellent. Even though I think purple is kind of Nia Jax's signature color in my mind, this stands out, and I totally understand why most people seem to prefer this over that Chase. It's also really cool that we get this intricate black pattern painted on top of the red all throughout. And once again, we got a lot of little molded detail pieces and accessories on here. So yeah, this attire, it stands out, it pops, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. I don't know what else to say because it's just great. Now, looking at this face, this TrueFX face scan, once again, looks awesome. Spot on miniature version of Nia. And this updated hair sculpt and color also looks good. So, another bonus feature to this figure is she does come with a women's tag championship. And that is definitely awesome to have in your collection, especially because if you missed out on the Alexa Bliss Elite 82, or if your Alexa Bliss Elite 82 comes with one that says Womez with an H, this is a good way to get another that has it spelled correctly. So yeah, this might be the best Nia Jax figure available. But before we go, let's take a look at the Chase version from Elite 89. Elite Series 89 Chase version, released in 2021. This attire is from Backlash 2020, which took place on June 14th at the Performance Center. On this night, Asuka would retain her Raw Women's Championship after her match with Nia resulted in a double countout. And last but not least, let's cover the Chase version of Nia Jax from Elite Series 89 because this is an excellent figure just like that regular version. Now, the first thing I am going to say is, once again, she comes with that Women's Tag Team Championship. And what's really awesome about that is if you're looking to update your Women's Tag Championships or get them for the first time, if you get the regular version of Nia and then you find the Chase, then there you go. You have two different figures that look great and you have two championships. So I highly recommend that. Now, obviously, this figure, as far as molding goes, face scan goes, it's the exact same as the regular version. Except this time around, being the Chase, it has a different color pattern paint application to her attire. And to me, this is classic Nia. Like I said, in my head, whenever I think of Nia Jax, I think of purple and black. So this purple black with silver detail outlining it looks amazing to me. And truth being told, even though the regular version tends to stand out more, you know, I actually have this MOC hanging up because this is what I think of when I think of Nia Jax, if that makes sense. But yeah, so taking a closer look here, the main base color we have is that purple with black. And then we have little silver accents that kind of outline the piping going around. And then on these little flat pieces on her hips and on her shoulders, they have this really intricate, like, scale type pattern, I guess you'd call it, and it looks freaking awesome. So, yeah, it's kind of up for debate whether you prefer the regular version that's in the red, black, and gold, or this Chase version in the purple, black, and silver. To me, they're pretty close, neck and neck, but if I think of an ultimate Nia Jax figure that just sums up Nia in a figure and is the ultimate representation of her, I would actually go with this one, but that's all personal preference. And now it's time for me to rank all of Nia Jax's figure releases from my least favorite all the way down to my favorite, so let's dive right in. At number 6, we have Battlepacks Series 54. Now, to me, this Nia Jax just doesn't really stand out amongst all her figure releases. Now, it is a great figure, and remember, this is a basic style figure, and it looks amazing. However, the red and black, to me, just isn't as iconic to Nia Jax as the purple and black, which leads me to number 5, Basic Series 79. This is basically the same figure, except this time we have the purple and black attire, which to me is more iconic to Nia Jax. Now, it is important to note that these two figures, especially, I said it before in the review, the skin tones are off, and that's why these are at the end of the countdown here, because the skin tones don't look good in person. At least mine don't. Now, starting into the awesome Nia Jax figures, we have at number 4, Basic Series 72. Her debut figure. Now, this figure freaking rules, and considering it's her debut first in the line figure, they did an excellent job. And it's also super awesome that this figure has elite articulation, so this is kind of like a Nia Jax Elite early in her figure releases. So this is an excellent figure in its own right, and I do suggest that y'all try to find this one because it's so awesome and unique, and I love that extra articulation. So at number 3, we have Elite Series 65, her very first Elite figure. Now this, like I mentioned before, was a groundbreaking figure, came with swappable heads, and overall, it's just a really cool figure, and I like having the customization options to switch the heads out to have her look however you want her to look. So this is a great Nia Jax figure, definitely a great first Elite. Now at number 2, might be a surprise to y'all, but I have Elite Series 89, regular version. So the reason this is number 2 is because this attire's awesome, right? However, this is a retrospective ranking, so now that her career, at least as of now, is over in the WWE, I want number 1 to be an ultimate Nia Jax figure that really displays how I remember her, and that's why at number 1 we have the Elite 89 Chase version. So this figure is excellent. Now, when I did the review of this Chase and the regular version, I believe the regular version etched it out as far as the score goes, and it does have a lot more intricate detail, and a lot of people tend to prefer that coloration and that pattern on the regular version. But to me, if I'm looking for a single Nia Jax figure that is not only great but is iconic to her look and how I remember her, it's got to be that Elite 89 Chase. So that's why I chose it as number 1. I hope you enjoyed this video that covered the figure history of Nia Jax. And as far as my ranking goes, I would love to hear in the comments where you rank them or what your favorite Nia Jax figure is, because honestly, like I said before, she has had some amazing figures by Mattel. And as far as her career goes, wherever she goes next, whatever she does, I hope she finds happiness and success. Now, with that being said, thank you for stopping by Lumberjillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For a first look at all future women's wrestling figures and also some bonus videos like this one, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and become a resident of Lumberjillville today. Have a good night, y'all.